Lunch. You're holding 4 decades of supply chain strategy, membership economics, and one very specific promise that a company decided was worth protecting no matter what it cost. Sometimes the smartest product in a multi-billion-dollar business isn't the one making the most money by itself. It's the one quietly convincing millions of people to keep walking back through the door. If you enjoy discovering the hidden economics behind the companies and products you use every day, subscribe to Capital IQO's built-in profit on most items, far below what a typical department store or supermarket charges. Instead, Costco makes an enormous share of its actual profit from something else entirely: the annual membership fee every single shopper has to pay just to walk in the door. In its most recent fiscal year, Costco brought in roughly $270 billion in net sales. But sitting on top of that were membership fees worth over $5 billion. Money that arrives with almost no additional cost attached to it once a member signs up. That membership revenue is a huge share of the company's overall profitability. Costco isn't really in the business of maximizing what it earns on any individual hot dog or any individual package of paper towels. It's in the business of getting you to renew that membership card year after year, because renewal rates at Costco run above 90%, a level most subscription businesses would consider extraordinary. Once you see the business that way, the hot dog stops looking like a strange exception and starts looking like a very deliberate piece of the puzzle. Because here's the psychological trick hiding inside all of this. Walk through a Costco and you'll spend money on things you didn't plan to buy: electronics, furniture, a ridiculous amount of shredded cheese. Prices on those items are still competitive, but they're not necessarily jaw-dropping. Then, on your way out, tired and pushing a cart the size of a small boat, you stop at the food court and get a full meal for $1.50. That moment does something to your brain that a spreadsheet can't fully capture. It becomes proof. Proof that this place really is cheaper. Proof that the membership fee was worth it. One unbelievably priced item at the end of the trip can shape how you remember the entire shopping experience, even if most of what you bought that day was priced completely normally. Retail analysts have a specific way of describing this. Costco, in effect, is buying customer loyalty for whatever amount it's unwilling to charge above $1.50. That's not a side effect of the pricing decision. That is the pricing decision. And that's why the food court isn't just a food court. It's the final beat in a very specific customer journey. Drive to the warehouse, wander the aisles, fill the cart, spend real money, and then end the whole experience with something almost absurdly cheap and satisfying. That ending sticks with people. It becomes a ritual. Some customers have built entire personal traditions around it, treating the hot dog stop as a mandatory part of any Costco trip, the same way people treat popcorn as mandatory at a movie theater. So now picture the thought experiment leadership has clearly run internally, more than once. What happens if Costco simply raised the combo to, say, $2? On paper, the math looks fine. Multiply that 50-cent increase across the roughly 200 million combos the company sells in a single year, and you're looking at real incremental revenue. But that's only half the equation. Because the moment Costco breaks that price, it isn't just selling a slightly more expensive hot dog, it's breaking a promise that's been part of its identity for 4 decades. It's handing every news outlet in the country a headline about the death of an American institution. It's telling loyal members, in a very public way, that the one thing that never changed has finally changed. Is the extra revenue from a 50-cent bump worth that kind of reputational risk? Costco's current leadership doesn't seem to think so. Multiple CEOs across multiple decades have gone out of their way to publicly reaffirm the same commitment, that the price isn't moving, not this year, not as long as they're in charge. That's not indecision. That's a company that has run the numbers and decided the symbolism is worth more than the spreadsheet. Which brings us to the real answer to the mystery. There is no single trick that keeps the Costco hot dog at $1.50. It's not just cheap ingredients, and it's not just corporate stubbornness. It's the combination of controlling its own supply chain instead of paying someone else's markup. It's the scale of a company selling to tens of millions of paying members. It's a business model that draws its real profit from membership renewals rather than food court margins. And it's decades of turning one product into a piece of brand mythology that customers now expect, defend, and even joke about online, which means the wrong question was always, how much profit does Costco make on this hot dog? The better question is, what does this hot dog do for the rest of Costco's business? And once you ask it that way, the answer becomes obvious. It buys trust. It buys habit. It buys a reason to renew a membership card every single year without a second thought. So the next time you're standing in that food court line, that should be impossible. Labor costs went up, beef prices went up, buns, mustard, propane, rent for the building the hot dog is cooked in, all of it went up. A business that refuses to raise its price while every input becomes more expensive is a business that should be losing money on that product year after year for 40 years straight. So why hasn't Costco changed it? And more importantly, why won't Costco ever change it? To understand that, you have to go back to where this whole thing started. Costco opened its first warehouse in 1983. It was a strange concept at the time, a members-only store the size of an airplane hangar, selling everything from tires to bulk peanut butter, with almost none of the polish of a normal retail store. Somewhere around 1984, hot dog carts started showing up outside a Costco location in San Diego, selling a simple hot dog and a drink to shoppers on their way in or out. By 1985, that cart deal had become an official item on a real food court menu, priced at $1.50. At the time, it was just a cheap snack. Nobody involved thought they were creating one of the most famous pricing decisions in American retail history. But here's where the story gets interesting. As the years went on, Costco's leadership, co-founder Jim Sinegal, and later his successor Craig Jelinek, made something close to a company legend out of refusing to touch that price. Jelinek has told the story publicly himself. At one point, as costs kept rising, he went to Sinegal and told him they couldn't keep selling the hot dog for $1.50, that the company was losing money on it. Sinegal's answer became one of the most quoted lines in retail history. He told Jelinek that if he raised the price of the hot dog, he would kill him. Then he added 4 words that turned into a mission statement. Figure it out. That's not a typical response from a business leader. Normally, when costs rise, a company does one of a few predictable things. It raises the price, it shrinks the portion, it swaps in a cheaper ingredient, or it quietly accepts a thinner margin and moves on. Costco refused to do any of those things with this one product, which means the real question isn't why the hot dog stayed at $1.50, it's how. Part of the answer is something most customers never think about. Costco doesn't just sell the hot dog. For years, it bought the hot dog from an outside supplier, originally a well-known deli meat brand. But in 2008, Costco made a quiet but significant decision. It began producing its own hot dogs in its own manufacturing facilities, under its private Kirkland signature label. That single move changed the economics of the entire product. When you buy a hot dog from someone else, you're paying that company's costs plus their profit margin, on top of your own expenses. When you make the hot dog yourself, control the meat sourcing, the processing, the packaging. You strip out that extra layer entirely. You're not eliminating cost. You're eliminating somebody else's markup. This is the same basic logic that lets a farmer sell tomatoes cheaper at a roadside stand than a grocery store 2 towns over can. Cut out the middleman, and you create room that didn't exist before, room to hold a price that would otherwise have to rise. But that alone still doesn't fully explain it, because even with an in-house supply chain, a plain hot dog and a large drink for $1.50 is, by any normal restaurant math, a strange amount of value to give away. And that's exactly the point, because the hot dog was never designed to be judged as a restaurant item. It was designed to be judged as something else entirely, a tool. In business, there's a concept called a loss leader, a product priced so low that it draws people in, even if the company isn't trying to squeeze meaningful profit out of that specific item. Costco has never publicly disclosed the exact unit economics of the hot dog combo. How much it actually costs them to make one down to the penny isn't public information. What is clear is the strategic role the hot dog plays. Its job isn't necessarily to be profitable on its own. Its job is to make a promise to every single customer who walks through the door. Think about your local supermarket occasionally selling milk at a razor-thin margin just to get you inside the store, hoping you'll fill the rest of your cart at normal prices. Costco is running a version of that idea, except it turned one product into a permanent, unshakable symbol instead of a rotating weekly promotion. To really understand why that symbol matters so much, you have to understand how Costco actually makes its money, because it isn't primarily from selling you a hot dog or even from selling you groceries. Costco runs on a model that looks almost backwards compared to a normal retailer. It keeps its markup on merchandise famously thin, historically capping itself at a low percentage of bill. Everything in America got more expensive: gas, rent, eggs, a cup of coffee, a trip to a fast food drive-thru that now feels like a real financial decision. But walk into any Costco in the country, and one thing has refused to move. One hot dog, one soda, $1.50, not $1.75, not $2, $1.50, the exact same price it was in 1985. Think about what else cost $1.50 in 1985. A gallon of gas was cheaper than that. A movie ticket was close to that. And somehow, decades later, while almost every other price in America climbed and climbed, this one held perfectly still.